wouldn't give any of these guys research grants.
Yes. The reins of history back in the hands of man.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 mad scientists in video games.
The good news is that your insurance is going to cover the whole thing.
For this list, we're counting down scientists in video games who are considered insane to some degree. Regardless of whether they are good or evil, as long as they're considered mentally unstable, they qualify for this list.
Were I you, I'd be more concerned with myself at the moment.
Also, they must have originated from video games. So unfortunately, that means no Hugo Strange from Arkham City. And since we are, in some cases, talking about important characters, there may be some spoilers ahead.
It's funny how history repeats itself.
Number 10, Dr. Zed Blanco, Borderlands series. Many things about our first pick are unknown. Questions like, why did he lose his medical license? Or why is he chopping up those corpses are never really explained.
Get over here. You're gonna be my operating assistant.
What we do know about Dr. Zed is that he is responsible for maintaining the medical vendors that are scattered all around Pandora.
Oh, did I mention I don't have a medical license?
He even has a brother, Dr. Ned, who is totally not Dr. Zed in disguise, whom you must work with to stop a zombie outbreak, which he started.
Now I'm just gonna have to kill you.
Number 9, Dr. Nefarious, Ratchet and Clank series.
Initiate Super Wavy Flashback Effect!
Dr. Nefarious was bullied in high school by the bumbling superhero Captain Quark.
Oh, the humiliation!
After they graduated, Nefarious created a plan to end all life. But when Quark catches up with him, he decides to give him a wedgie for old time's sake.
I don't believe it!
Believe it, Toasterhead!
Trying to avoid this, Nefarious fell into machinery and was turned into a robot. Since then, he's been trying to end all organic life so he can rule over the machine race. This has led him to try to turn everyone else into machines, or to destroy space and time. Think about that next time you give someone a wedgie.
Nothing you could want is worth risking the universe.
Oh, but there is!
Number 8, Dr. Stanislaus Braun, Fallout 3.
My name is Stanislaus Braun. I'm a Vault Tech scientist.
After following your father to Vault 112 to help locate a water purification device, you are brought into Tranquility Lane, a simulation created by Dr. Braun. In this simulation, Braun takes on the form of a little girl named Betty and uses you to cause havoc in the virtual town for his amusement.
Oh, someone new to play with. What good luck I have lately.
It starts off harmless enough with you making a kid cry, but soon enough you're destroying marriages and killing people slasher movie style, complete with a creepy mask and knife. Things ain't so tranquil anymore.
I am pleased to see I'm not the only one being entertained.
Number 7, Dr. Neo Cortex, Crash Bandicoot series.
This time I shall reign triumphant.
Cortex is another scientist who wants to take over the world because he was ridiculed in school.
Why must you always muck in my mud?
Much like a scientist who shows up later on this list, he wants to take over the world using animals. Only he mutates them to use for his army.
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation?
When the titular Crash Bandicoot didn't live up to his standards, he tried to get rid of him. But since then, he's become his greatest nemesis. Despite his incompetence, Cortex does have a few powerful allies in the form of his fellow scientists.
Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do.
Number 6, Dr. Caligosto Lobato, Psychonauts.
I squeeze him, I poke him, I twist him. What do I have to do to make him fight?
Dr. Lobato's policy is that bad brains are like bad teeth. They need to be removed.
The trouble originates in this area. Here.
Dressed in a shower cap and armed with a prosthetic arm, his goal is to capture all the campers of Whispering Rock and use their brains to power his death tanks. His weapon of choice is special powder that makes his victims sneeze out their brains. Also helping in his evil plans is his assistant Shigor, whom he blackmails with threats of cooking her beloved pet turtle. Turtle soup, anyone?
I can't watch.
Number 5, Dr. William Birkin, Resident Evil 2.
My precious G-Virus. No one will ever take you away from me.
A top researcher with the Umbrella Corporation, Dr. Burton discovered and worked with the G-Virus. After betraying Umbrella, Birkin was gunned down and his research was taken.
You might hit the sample.
With his last breath, Birkin injected himself with the G-Virus, turning him into a hideous creature. He then hunted down and killed most of the team that shot him, and during the struggle, vials of the T-Virus were smashed, infecting a couple of rats, which triggered the Raccoon City outbreak. Birkin's destructive reign was eventually halted by Leon and Claire, but at least he got to go all monster on everyone before he was done. Number 4, Professor Hojo, Final Fantasy VII.
That's right, boys. It's me, Hojo.
This is the man who created one of the most iconic video game villains. However, he is also Sephiroth's birth father.
Now, where was I?
He injects his son with the Genova cells, hoping that he could become a mystical being which would be able to open a doorway to a fabled promised land. The hopes we put on our kids. Hojo has also appeared in most of the other Final Fantasy VII games, in antagonistic roles, due mostly to his research for the Shinra Corporation. He's also experimented on characters like Red 13 and created the Soldier program. Quite an impressive resume.
Genius, I tell you. Pure genius.
Number 3, Dr. Schaub's, Wolfenstein 3D. Next up is the syringe-throwing psychotic doctor who created Hitler's mutant army. When the hero, William B.J. Blazkowicz, confronts Dr. Schaub's in Castle Holehammer, he's greeted with a creepy laugh. Schaub's then runs out and starts throwing syringes at you. Syringes filled with a chemical that can turn you into a mutant. When taking on this Nazi doctor, experienced players know that it's best to find that secret ammo room beforehand in order to even the odds. Number 2, Dr. Eggman, aka Dr. Ivo Robotnik, Sonic the Hedgehog series.
I will destroy you, and I will be victorious!
As his name implies, this mad scientist is shaped like an egg, and is one of the most psychotic antagonists in all of gaming.
Wow, will I really get that crazy?
To combat his nemesis Sonic, he constructs robots and ships which are powered by fluffy woodland creatures. With an IQ of 300, he is super intelligent, but he often overlooks tiny details that allow his enemies to take advantage of him.
If you want to avoid an embarrassing beatdown, you better give up now!
His ultimate goal is to take over the entire world and create an egg-based utopia, the Eggman Empire, or any of the other names he comes up with depending on which game you're playing.
I'm going to own the world when I'm finished with Sonic!
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I've been looking forward to this day, to see you again, Fox McCloud.
Ow! Ow! Just how far will you go for power? Does your lust for Nefarious consume you?
Number 1, Dr. Albert Wily, Mega Man series. Taking our top spot is the mad scientist who has been tormenting the world longer than any of the others on this list. The rival of Dr. Light, the creator of Mega Man, Wily is responsible for taking robots meant to help humanity and reprogramming them as his robot masters to help him take over the world. Dr. Wily's exploits make him so infamous that even hundreds of years in the future, he's still considered a legendary mad scientist. What's more, even after his death, Wily still manages to influence the events of the X series. Do you agree with our list?
I'm sorry. This is the part where I'm supposed to be angry.
Which video game mad scientists have you wanting to perform controversial experiments? For more insane top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
What? Did I do something bad?